I'm in the mood to crush this one.
Yeah, let's let's get pumped up and things.
Get fucking pumped.
How are you doing today, Lee?
Pretty good, man. I'm feeling good.
Good, me too.
It's been a pretty good day today. So we got some traction on our
Last
TikTok.
one, yeah. Well, I got completely roasted, and you know what? It was well deserved. I will say it was kind of a bad take, but I mean, if you listen to the podcast, I did end up agreeing with you. But I can understand why people didn't think that in the comments. But I was thinking maybe I can just read some just before we decide to do our intro.
Yeah, why not? It was pretty fun. And again, I'm gonna support Lewis here and say that he definitely edited it in such a way that I think he knew that we'd get some controversy, and it kind of worked. We got lots of comments, lots of likes, but most of the people are dunking on you.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll be the common enemy. It was pretty funny. So first, one of the biggest comments was actually from our friends at District Beta. Shout out if you are from Sarnia or you go to District Beta. Has Marvel gone too far? More like Lewis has gone too far with such a bold statement. So that was a nice statement.
That was a nice way to say it.
Yeah.
We had some slightly less nice people.
This one guy said, I would definitely not invite this guy to any movie, which kind of I wanted to go to a movie with him.
I know. Does he know how bummed you are about the fact that you won't go to a movie with him?
Mm-hmm. So this one kind of hurt a little bit. He said, y'all know that meme, just making sure I don't fit in. Yeah, that's this guy. And I was like, I hate those people that just want to be different. And I can see why I was that guy there. This is a bad take, my dude. And then
we had a lot of comments that were just the letter L.
Yeah, some guy said, yeah, dude is an L. That's one. And then there's one that was really funny that I just got to go find. This one, he said, I can't even say it without laughing. He said, you're an L. You're an L, but don't worry. I can't even say it out loud. You're an L, but don't worry. You didn't choose to. You just are. You just are an L. That is so offensive.
Well, the fact that he said, don't worry, he was like, hey, you're an L, just don't worry. Don't worry. You don't have a choice in the matter. You just suck.
This guy said nasally voice equals immediately knowing this guy's about to spew the worst opinion I've ever heard. So I said, dude is a walking L. God, these are funny. I'm sorry for offending the Marvel community, but I know not to the Avengers really did assemble there, so.
Yeah, Lou, well, thank you for, bearing the cross for us.
Taking the L. I'll take it.
Take the L's for the team, because you know what, Lewis? 2 L's make a W.
Hey.
So that's the thing that me and Lewis like to say. When we both lose, we win, because it's Lewis and Lee.
Yeah.
So take the L. I'll take the L this week. Try to make me the bad guy. Try to make a bad take. And together we'll try to get this clout chase.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll roll the intro. Welcome to the Fast Forward Podcast. I'm your co-host, Lee.
And I'm your co-host, Lewis. And welcome to the fastest growing Canadian tech podcast in the universe.
This week, we're going to be talking about new social media and Ukraine and NFTs. We're also going to look back at some of the greatest April Fool's Day pranks of all time, and maybe do a few of our own.
We also have some interesting snips this week and a rewind that changed the world.
All right, roll the intro. All right, Lewis, where are we starting today? There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. April Fool's is actually this Friday. So this is Wednesday right now, but on Friday it's April Fool's, which one of my favorite day of the year.
It's fun. Should we do something, to the team at the office? Should we prank them on April Fool's Day?
I think we should. It's
also our town hall, our company town hall. So we could do a thing on the agenda that just
we're bankrupt.
Yeah, we're going.
We've pack your bags and get the hell
We've sold ourselves to a Chinese venture capital firm.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Reverse equity program where
you owe
us hours and you get no money for it.
And you have to pay us. You have to pay us to work here.
You charge us what you're charging the coworkers that are in the office. We have to also rent our space.
If you want to work at the office, you have to pay for the desk. Dude, that would be, how about a new incentive structure that's just horrible?
Yeah.
That would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. And next week we'll tell you guys what we did for our April Fool's Day pranks. But why don't we start, Lewis, and talk a little bit about, you and I did some research, and we found a few really hilarious, iconic April Fool's Day pranks. Okay, so for the first story that I'm going to share, it's actually called the Atomic Blueprint Scare. And this happened in Sweden and is kind of like a super meta prank because in the end, the prankster pranked the pranksters. It's in this kind of like a weird twist. So basically, April 1st, 1952, two teenage boys walked into a London police station and handed over a folder that appeared to contain blueprints for an atomic device. The boys said they found it like lying on the pavement at a bus stop. British authorities immediately went into high alert, like super concerned. It went to the highest levels of government, the House of Commons, and they were pretty much freaking out about a possible loss of atomic secrets or like an atomic threat. Anyway, the media got wind of the situation and it raised a huge public alarm. And then finally, when the physicists like got the time to look at the file, they realized that they're actually meaningless. And the mystery was solved when the friends of the two boys, his name was Victor Mahara. He's 15 years old. He confessed that he created the papers out of a Norwegian blueprint for a sausage machine that he had found at the office where he worked. And as a prank, he written a bunch of gibberish on it and then titled it Plan for Atomic Device, CDZZ 29679 Nuclear Physics Pattern, Top Secret. So he basically made these these fake atomic secret documents, and his buddies found it, but his buddies didn't know that it was fake, brought it to the authorities. So in the way, he pranked them, and then his buddies inadvertently, like indirectly pranked the entire country. And they were all freaking out about like this like nuclear threat.
No kidding. When did this happen again?
1952.
My God, this was like right on the brink of like nuclear war too already at the time.
So this is like when everyone's freaking out about it. And it's pretty funny. Like it was based on a sausage machine. So like all these authorities, like the House of Commons is like talking about it. And the documents are the blueprints for a sausage machine. And it's like going up to the highest levels of government, right? Like they're making phone calls. They're all freaking out. Like where are these documents? Who left them?
Yeah.
Why did we lose top secret information? Like top secret information was leaked at a bus stop. They're probably wondering who was at that bus stop, trying to do like, investigation. But ultimately it was just some kid's joke.
That's like terrorism.
It is. It's information terrorism.
Terrorism is a prank.
Kind of.
Yeah. Holy cool. Well, this one is not nearly as, atomic as that one, but definitely left some impressions. It's the left-handed Whopper.
Yum. I love Whoppers.
How do you think a left-handed Whopper would work?
Yeah, I hold my Whopper pretty funny. Kayla always makes fun of me because I kind of hold it upside down with like my pinky underneath.
I find
it.
that you can you have to have it with two hands. Like unless you have like Shaq hands. Like my hands are pretty big, but
you have to be that's an alpha move to eat a Whopper with one. Actually, you know what? Next time I get Burger King with the family, I'm gonna grab the Whopper with one hand and see what Kayla says because that's a huge alpha move.
You know how like basketball players they'll palm their basketball like while they just walk. Imagine doing that with a Whopper. Like as you walk, like you take it out of the wrapping and you just start walking
with
it.
a Whopper, walking around the office at lunchtime with a Whopper just dangling from your hand.
It's like soggy, so it's not like anyway. The left-handed Whopper. So on April 1st, 1998, Burger King published a full-page advertisement in USA Today announcing the introduction of a new item to their menu, which was the left-handed Whopper that was specifically designed for the 32 million Americans who were left-handed. So
who cares about them?
So, I mean, on the advertisement, it just said that everything was the same as a regular Whopper, but all the condiments were rotated 180 degrees for the benefit of the left-handed customers.
What does that even mean? Like you rotate the tomato and the pickle and
they
the patty?
Yeah. They just rotated it. Well, of course, for the left-handed people, you got to think about that, right?
That implies that its current situation and like the current way that it's facing was like some kind of intentional thing.
Yeah.
But they're just tossing patties on the bun and tossing tomatoes. They're not trying to point it a certain way for right-handed users. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. What makes you say that?
I don't think they're paying them enough to be doing that shit.
Oh, they do. They get extensive training on it.
On like topping orientation. Welcome to topping orientation.
So what was funny about this ad is that obviously like the following day, like it's just obviously fake, right? There's no way that was going to be real. But they said that millions of people went into Burger King asking for the left-handed Whopper.
So they were just like all like convinced that they could get it.
Yeah.
And they were left-handed. They felt like they were heard. Burger King heard the minority and then basically told them to fuck off.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no left-handed burger here.
Yeah.
Go
Seriously.
home.
Yeah.
Buy the right-handed burger or leave. That's hilarious, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why accessibility is important.
Speaking about pranks with food, my second story is a pretty funny one as well. And this is by the most notorious pranksters in the game, BBC. So on April 1st, 1957, the BBC basically did a broadcast, a 3-minute segment about a bumper spaghetti harvest in southern Switzerland. Basically saying the success of the crop was attributed to both an unusually mild winter and the virtual disappearance of the spaghetti weevil. Now, the thing about this video, I watched it. It's not, you can watch it on YouTube. It's like really convincing. It has that like British accent guy, black and white video. It just looks real. It looks like it's no bullshit. But they're basically like harvesting spaghetti noodles from the trees, and then they're like laying it out to dry on the ground.
Yeah.
And the thing that I thought was interesting about this prank was they tried to like almost assume so much stuff, like just imply stuff that's like common knowledge. So like at one point they talk about this isn't like the spaghetti the plantations that you've become familiar with in Italy. Like it basically just like assuming everyone's seen them before.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's part of why I made it so convincing. Like they just really treated it like it was a real piece.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth watching. But anyway, hundreds of people phoned into BBC wanting to know how they could grow their own spaghetti tree at home. So all of a sudden you have this ad that's going out and people realize, oh, I didn't know you could grow spaghetti from a plant. Like I didn't know that was a thing. So they're just trying to find a way to DIY it, to grow their own spaghetti noodles. Like
Honestly, I wish I could too. I love spaghetti.
I know.
What do you think about spaghetti?
I like spaghetti. Forkability is so-so.
That's what I was gonna say. The forkability is so. Yeah. Anyway, that was so ridiculous, man. And the thing is, BBC does this all the time. Like they did one, a prank with penguins where they had like showing penguins flying, and everyone thought it was real too. Like it was talking about the migration, and it shows like penguins like. It was like a drone shot of penguins flying into the tropics for the winter.
You gotta love too. It's like they're just journalists, so they have to report the facts, and here they are spreading misinformation.
So, all really funny April Fool's Day pranks. But what we wanted to tell our listeners is that we're actually going to me and Lewis are planning to do a little bit of our own fake news. And we're going to be doing that on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels. And after the podcast today, we're going to be filming a few pretty funny segments. I think we should probably tell them what they are so that they know when they see them on.
Oh, they'll know when they hear them.
Yeah, true.
They'll know when they hear them.
So just check out our social media pages on April 1st. And please help us out in the comments. Let's see if we can try to fool some gullible folks on social media.
You know what? Social media is a really weird place, huh?
Oh, yeah, man.
And speaking of place, have you heard that Reddit is bringing back its iconic place?
What is that? I never even heard of that.
So this will be the biggest collaborative art project of all time. Every year for April Fools, Reddit, so you know how most tech companies, they do like some sort of funny thing, like Mario Kart through Google Maps,
yeah,
etc. Well, every year for April Fools, Reddit does some sort of digital social experiment. This is kind of them experimenting with something social, digital, etc.
Yep.
So in 2017, Reddit introduced a project called Place. Redditors were able to place one color pixel on a 1000 by 1000 collaborative artboard every 20 minutes. So I would be able to place one, then have to wait 20 minutes, but then someone else could place one in 20 minutes, etc. This resulted in subcommunities, also known as subreddits, having to strategically choose real estate to draw a picture representing their community. So you know what Reddit's like, right? You go on there if I want to see about Canadian politics, or if I wanted to talk about JavaScript or UK, etc. So there's actually a picture in there that I sent Lee and Storm in the Notion.
That's 1,000 by 1,000 pixels.
That's 1,000 by 1,000 pixels.
It's not more. I feel like it should be more.
No, that's it. And what's crazy is that like you can overwrite a lot of pixels as well. So
people were deleting each other's shit.
Yeah. So And if you look below, there's a 3D visualization of a time lapse of people putting on this artboard.
That's real from the
Yeah.
man. One of the flags, is that the Germany flag?
Yeah, that's the German flag.
They like wiped out another country's flag at one point.
Yeah. So it's
France. It looks like France's flag gets wiped out.
And that's kind of funny because when our place was happening, it did create like a huge community of people who were almost like trying to preserve, because think about it, just with anything, there's a lot of bad characters. They're trying to do offensive things. So there was people who
We're fighting to preserve the integrity of it.
like people,
heroes.
Yeah, people who are duty. So anyway, this year, our place is coming back. And think about these metrics right here. So what you just saw right there, that was like the biggest collaborative art project of all time.
Mm-hmm.
In 2017, Reddit had 250 million monthly users. Now they have over 430 million monthly active users, and they have a mobile application that most users use to access. So it's really looking like this year.
How do you place a pixel?
So
Is there a button that you can press, or do you have to like write a comment with like the RGB? Like
it's similar to like a like what you would do on Photoshop. You click a color out of the color wheel,
and you place it,
and then you just place it, and then it puts you on a 20-minute timer.
and then yours could be gone, or
It
you
could
could
be
add another
gone.
one. Oh wow, what a cool game! I'm actually really curious to see what happens. Actually, we should showcase what comes from this like next episode.
Yeah, I feel like a lot because look at how innocent this one is. You know, obviously there was a lot of people who preserved the innocence, but this was during a lot easier time, I feel. Now a lot of things have happened.
Oh yeah,
I'm hoping.
I'm wondering what the 2022 will like look like on our place. For the listeners that can't see what we're looking at, it's pretty much like a giant board that's full of logos and flags and certain graphic images. There's like
pop culture references, video games, just nerdy stuff. Like basically everything you would expect Reddit to be, it's on there.
It's interesting. I even see like a block M that says Go Blue, which is like a football team. It's the Michigan University. So there's even like sports teams and country. It's just anything people are proud of.
Yeah, and it's cool because this is what Reddit was built for. In subreddits, you talk about some specific. That's why you join because everyone has a common interest with Linux or Dota or art, and so they are collaborating to get into just one spot, fight for their real estate.
How did they organize all the individuals placing pixels to bring together the image, though?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, how do you know where to place your pixel so that your image that your group is trying to achieve will happen?
In the subreddit, they'll probably
like tell you what to do.
Like, okay, like there's not much room over on this end of it. Like, let's take that spot off.
And then instruct everybody what colors to put and everything.
Yeah, or that's where maybe warfare might happen.
Yeah, like you go and see an opposing red and like, sabotage them.
Like, who's the University of Michigan's biggest enemy?
Like Ohio State.
So like Ohio State,
Michigan
right?
State.
The Ohio State, University of Michigan subreddits probably both at roughly the same amount of active community members. They're probably like
Trying to take each other out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What's each of your favorite part that you noticed on this?
Let's see here.
One.
I can go first. My favorite one is that a group of people got together to clown on Tom Brady. In the top left, they have the score of sorry, not to clown on Tom Brady, to clown on Atlanta when Tom Brady came back from that huge deficit. Remember in Super Bowl? It's like the biggest Super Bowl collapse.
Oh yeah, because that's like the third period.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 minutes and 8 seconds left and they were up like crazy, and then Tom Brady was able to bring them. Damn. That's basically just a reminder of their huge failure.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Some I'm surprised about is at the bottom, at the very bottom in the middle, the Osu logo. It's kind of this weird game where you have to like click the spot. It's like a music-based game. You have to click on certain spots to align with the music. I'm just surprised at how such a niche game can capture so much of that board.
Yeah, that is weird. They must have a big community then.
Yeah. And a passionate community too.
I don't know. Nothing stands out to me particularly. I see the Canadian flag. I like, oh, there we go. Boston Celtics. I see the green.
I see too that
Clover.
on the very right, you'll see like the Linux logo or the Rolling Stones article, but there's the Wall Street Bets logo is the baby.
True.
That's probably going to be way bigger this year.
The Wall Street, this is going to be a Wall Street Bets man.
Oh yeah,
it's all grown up.
Well, this is way before the GameStop stuff. After the GameStop stuff, oh man, that popped off. But isn't that a cool little tidbit?
Yeah, it's just cool what happens when people can like get together on social media and
I love
build
social
community.
media
And a fun
in that way.
The fun tidbit was that this was the brainchild, like this project was the brainchild of Josh Wardle, who's the creator of Wordle.
Wait,
That guy's
what?
a viral guy.
Yeah.
Wait. He was working at Reddit?
You worked at Reddit, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And this was his brainchild. So
Man,
he's
guy-
a man for the culture, isn't he?
He gets it.
He gets it. He gets it.
Speaking of social media, Elon Musk has made headlines this past week. I guess a little Twitter conversation was going down, and he basically expressed that he's seriously looking into potentially building his own social media platform. Did you see this, Lewis?
Yes, I did see it.
So I guess it all came from, I guess a conversation about freedom of speech and Twitter's role in that. And this guy, his name is, and I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but Pranay Pathol. He says, would you consider building a new social media platform, Elon Musk? One that would consist of an open source algorithm, one where free speech and adhering to free speech is given top priority, one where propaganda is minimal. I think that kind of platform is needed. He says, I'm giving serious thought to this. I don't know if he's just saying that to stir shit up. Because
Probably.
The thing about Tesla is they do like no marketing, right? They don't actually spend money on marketing, but Elon is just like always getting headlines for them. And, it's kind of always
He's a
been thing.
polarizing figure.
For sure. He's just stayed in the public eye. But at the same time, I don't doubt this man. Like if he's giving serious thought to something, like look at all the things he's done, right? What do you think Elon is up to? Do you think he's, trying to build his own social media platform? Do you think he cares that much about it? Do you think it'd be a priority with all the stuff that he's got going on?
No, I think I don't think he's really going to take it seriously. I think at first, he loves the buzz, and I think he knew that was going to be a buzz, so he just said it.
Do you think he'd be successful?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think anyone competing for another platform because of like cancel culture, I think that's already kind of starting a new social media. I think that's starting off on the wrong foot anyway.
Yeah, I think that there's been a bunch of platforms that already exist and have been doing all right. They haven't taken off. So the platforms like Getter and what else is there? There's a few of them.
So right now there is an
Rumble.
open source. There's Mastodon, which is a decentralized Twitter where you can start your own server and join other servers, and it connects all under kind of one roof.
Really?
Yeah, it's open source as well. But again, like when it comes to, I think open source algorithm is a cool concept, but what makes it really hard is that
Kind of suck.
well, when it's open source, it's exposed to everyone. You know exactly how, like some parts of it need to be behind closed doors.
Do you think is that to protect the user? Because if everyone knows the algorithm, they're going to like try to hack it constantly.
Yeah, I remember one time, an engineer at Google said this, that they open source a lot of Gmail, but the only thing that they can't open source is their filter protection. Because if they open source that, then what happens is that the hackers can read and find ways to bypass it.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I think, if you're a social media person and you know the algorithm to a T, you're going to try to create content that might not serve the user best, but might get you views, right? And get you impressions. And I guess it's kind of tricky. Social media is I think it's a big topic right now because, personally, I don't think really, like legally, people's freedom of speech are being taken from them because of censorship on social media. I do think it's bad, but technically speaking, it's a private corporation. So even though the private corporation is allowed to ban people with certain opinions or certain voices, that person can still, have the freedom of speech. It's not been taken away. That being said, it is kind of hard to make that argument when it's almost like these corporations have like a monopoly on freedom on the conversation, absolutely. Right? So what's your stance on this? Because like a lot of the mainstream media is basically saying, your freedom of speech is technically still there because you can go outside and shout from the top of your roof. It's like, we didn't take away your right to speak. We just took away your right to speak on this platform. But what happens when that platform is literally where all the conversation is?
Yeah.
It could be dangerous, right?
But I think something that is huge with it is that it's almost like Twitter. They abide by the rules just enough so that they can stay that private entity. Because think about how many people already have issues with them. Like, they are the only place you can really have an open conversation that I truly feel like is not censored for real is Twitter. Twitter, you can like view lots of stuff. It's basically like the lines are pretty strict on like what will get you banned. But at the same time, like, it is tough because that is the only place that conversation is happening. No one else is talking anywhere else.
So Elon started this whole conversation by doing a poll, I think like the day before.
Yep.
He asked users if they believe Twitter adheres to the principles of free speech, to which over 70% voted no.
Yeah.
So even if it's not technically true, it seems like the sentiment, at least from Elon's followers, which is obviously a certain type of demographic, that they believe that it's not. Now, again, I don't know if I can really agree with that because technically speaking, it's not really impeding on their freedom of speech. But what I'm wondering is, what would happen if like Twitter had totally different opinions when let's say they weren't on the left, let's say they were really like anti-progressive, and
For sure.
like what would people's stances be? Because I know it's kind of weird to me, the same group of people that hate corporations and hate monopolies and their impact on society, but when those same companies silence their opposition, they're okay with it. You know what I mean? That's a bit of a weird stance.
I don't think that Twitter silences the opposition though.
No, sometimes they've had it
And vice versa.
like for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
It's radical. Like whenever people get radical, or like are violent on their platform, it doesn't matter which side they're on. Like there's this ongoing notion that like Twitter is trying to like silence the right wing media, which just isn't true at all. I mean, yeah, they banned Alex Jones, but that was for completely
They
separate.
also banned the president
Yeah, that's
of the
fair.
United States.
Yeah,
And also a number of right wing speakers or personalities that didn't actually spread any disinformation later.
but spread violent things was like
Was
again.
violent.
I'm not gonna say that Twitter is perfect at its moderation.
No, yeah.
But I don't think that. I think this ongoing concept of cancel culture and what these people are saying, like, oh, Twitter is like being taken over by leftists. I can't have any civil conversation on here anymore. I just don't believe it because I think Twitter still is the best spot to have conversation. And just because you got ratioed doesn't mean that you're getting silenced. It means that's just the consequences of your action. Similar to running a poll on Elon Musk, right? If let's say, I don't know, Joe Biden did that to, like, you might get a 70% yes versus 70% no.
Of course, the language is there. And I actually don't even think that the notion is that they're silencing the right wing. I think it's actually just silencing people in general. So I think the left is okay with it, but the right's not. I don't think the difference is like, because you're right, that people on both sides that are radical have been silenced. But I think the idea that it's more of the line of logic. Like, are you allowed to ban people because they say things that you disagree with? I remember the old CEO of
Jack.
Yeah, he was getting pressed on Joe Rogan once. And,
with his like marketing manager.
Yeah, and even he kind of admitted that it wasn't perfect. He said like, because they made mistakes where like they banned people that shouldn't have been banned, and most of them are were right wing personalities, and it's because I think I don't want to quote him, but I think at the end of the day, it's humans that are making these decisions. So all humans have biases, right? And the reality is that at most of these tech companies, like Silicon Valley is very left leaning. Yeah. So that's where the line of logic is broken. Is that it's not that like both sides haven't been silenced; they have, but it's just like, are you allowed to silence? That's the question. I think that's where the right's like, hey, you shouldn't be silencing people. Period. Where the left is like, yeah, silence them because, you know, they've got those different, I guess, sets of values. So I guess that's what I'm asking you more so. Not like, has one side been the victim of it, but rather, is it like, does Elon have a point with what he's saying? Like, the reason he's seriously thinking about it is because he sees a discrepancy in the market. Like, is there a need for a platform where people like don't need to worry about losing their freedom of speech? Freedom of speech. I say that with quotes because it's on social media.
It is tough. I get it. I think just instead of building a new social media, it almost seems like we need to like have like a political process for like how Twitter manages their executives, their moderation policy, etc. Because I think only humans can moderate humans.
Yeah.
I don't think robots are capable.
Can you imagine an AI is like he's like banning you and you're
Oh
like
my
arguing
goodness.
with an AI about it?
Yeah, I wonder, you know what? That's an interesting question. If you built a machine learning algorithm with every single political comment, I wonder what side it would land on.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Actually, if you just built a really intelligent AI and then found out where it lands on the political spectrum, it's like the smartest thing ever.
It'd definitely be very right wing, I feel.
Why?
Because a robot can't feel anything. So it'd be like, oh, like of course, remove all like social funding. Why would we need that? We're wasting so much money. You know, that's what I would think, because it doesn't know any feelings or what it's like to be a human.
I think there's definitely a bit more emotion and empathy on the left. So yeah, I agree. It probably would be on the right. One of the like last comments I'll make about this is, they were specifically talking about the algorithm, not necessarily about freedom of. I mean, yes, freedom of speech as well.
Yeah.
But the guy that was commenting to Elon was bringing up the algorithm. What do you think about some kind of process where algorithms aren't allowed to only show you one type of view, where basically YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, they were regulated and told that the algorithm must allow for both opinions to be like present in the user's experience. So I think that's one of the issues too, is that all these platforms, they have like echo chamber algorithms, where you think like, oh, everyone agrees with me because all it's showing you is like stuff that you like, right? And I feel like that's made it harder for people to have discourse, because they're just like, the other side is so stupid and on the fringe, when really they're not, right?
It is tough, because I do 100% agree. I just don't know how effective that would be. Because think about when a left-wing person, like if you're left-wing and you look at someone who is left-wing, part of their rhetoric that they do is almost a mockery of the other side. So it almost makes it hard. So so for example, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of something like, is barbecue sauce good, right? The left thinks it's not, the right thinks it is. Are those people idiots for, this? I can't believe these idiots would like barbecue sauce. And then, you know what I mean? The rhetoric is not open for conversation, because that's what gets the entertainment going, especially on YouTube. So it makes it almost unwatchable on the other side, versus if I looked at a news article, why does the right wing like barbecue sauce? Why does the left wing not, to build that empathy around it? So if I'm just watching something, oh man, these guys just got owned.
But I think that's part of the problem though. I think it's because the conversations happen in private that we're allowed to get more rude. Just imagine if we're all in the same room, you wouldn't say those same things. But because you're oh, we're separated and my commenters are all my kind, I can say these things and not get pulled back. But imagine you had a mixed audience. You'd have to regulate kind of what you say as a creator or as a spokesperson, because you know that there's going to be listeners on both sides criticizing your work. So
it's like a tree that's rotten all the way down into the roots. I feel there's just so much to it. There's the algorithm for recommending you these types of videos or tweets, but then it's also the personalities who are getting so much from that as well.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
engagement, views,
so
money, right? Patreon subscribers, whatever.
Exactly. So why are they going to stop? Also, they're getting huge incentives from you watching their videos. The algorithm, like YouTube or Twitter, Google, are getting huge money from you watching this as well. It's just, oh man, it's horrible. But I do agree with Elon Musk to an extent. I do think that some sort of open source algorithm would be good, but
we'll see what comes from it.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll do something. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
What's the name? What would be your favorite Elon Musk name?
Oh, for his social media?
Maybe the Musk Media.
Musk Media? No, I was thinking Doge Moon Media or something.
Doge Moon Media, or how about the Media Model S for social?
Oh, nice.
Like a Tesla.
Or Doge. It has to be something with Doge.
Yeah, I got it. Meta, but with a D instead of a T, and the D stands for Doge.
There you go. Meta.
Meta. Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, Twitter is sometimes a huge fire in the comments.
Speaking of Doge and fire.
Doge and fire.
So, Boston Dynamics. I know you're well aware of them. I love their stuff. New York's fire department is the first in the country to purchase Boston Dynamics 75K robot dog to aid during difficult search and rescue missions. So, Yeah, so during search, so that you know what one I'm talking about,
Yes,
right?
man, Spot is iconic. This is like one of Boston Dynamics' most famous robot.
Yeah, so they named the dog Spot, but I feel like Clifford would have been a better name.
The big red dog?
Yeah,
But it's not red, it's yellow.
I know, but you can spray paint it red, which is actually funny because in this article I said something that got a lot of controversies that the police department bought one of these dogs to just for
patrol.
general, just to, I don't even think to that extent. I think almost to like replace, like I think for search missions as well. But it got so viral online that people, because they spray painted it blue, and people were like, oh, this is the start of the end, because they think that they're going to like attach a machine gun to it. They see someone jaywalking, it's just it kills them. But this begs the question, Lee. What other areas will Spot, the robot dog, in their current capabilities be good for?
That's a good question. I think the example that New York is trying to implement, where they use them to go into fires, and then they have it on cameras so that someone can remotely control it like a drone. I don't think Spot's like going in there autonomously and finding people. I think it's definitely remote controlled by a human. That's pretty sweet. Right?
I was thinking like a pizza delivery would be cool. So like it could deliver your pizza.
Yeah, because right now, if you want to get an autonomous pizza delivery, the car is going to stop at the edge of your street. But then how is the pizza going to get from the car to your door?
I guess in its current capability, it's pretty slow, right?
You wouldn't want a dog whipping your pizza home out in the cold.
They have stabilizers in the pizza
box?
Yeah, in the pizza box.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think autonomous cars that are loaded with a Spot in the back, and then the trunk opens, and then the Spot comes out with the pizza on his back, like a pizza bag, walks up to your door,
cool. That'd be
and
cute.
then knocks on your door, and then when you open the door, it like kind of does like a digital rough, and then you tap it to pay on Spot's head. You tap and you pay, and then you take your pizza.
Have you already built this before? Like that was pretty specific.
Yeah, man. I have a pitch deck for this.
Yeah. Oh, that was just so cute to think that Spot would do that.
What else? What do you think, Storm? Any ideas of like how you would use a Spot robot?
Nope.
I'm trying to think.
I think the fires is pretty cool. I think in emergency services, like you have those divers that save that soccer team. You know what I mean? Like anything like that where humans shouldn't be going.
What about a seeing eye dog?
A seeing eye dog?
Yeah, you know how people have dogs that kind of help them see because they're blind?
Yeah.
But imagine
guide dogs.
Yeah, guide dogs. Imagine this, but like it can speak English. So it's like, hey, someone's charging at you with a knife, or what? I don't know.
Yeah.
What dogs would normally rough if like the person's in danger,
or specifically like a fire hydrant 10 feet away.
Yeah,
and it says it to your Apple.
Yeah,
Bluetooth.
you're approaching a curb, and it sends right to your
That'd be
headphone.
Interesting. Yeah,
because like a dog, because like it has the camera, it has the ability to like Bluetooth connect.
And how fast are these things?
These things are pretty good. Like they're faster than the typical blind person would be mobily moving.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to be slower than that.
Is that like a unit of measurement? Like faster than the typical blind person? This goes 3 blind people.
Well, every time I've seen someone with a seeing eye dog, they're not really whipping down the street. I feel like this dog would be able to keep up just fine.
Yeah, I just don't know how long do they last on a charge?
Oh, that's a good one, because dogs don't have to charge. Like real dogs don't have to. Also, real dogs don't like crap out if they like lose Wi-Fi or 5G.
Yeah.
Right, so it's really hard to replace a real dog, but it would be cool.
Some dogs crap out. They crap out lots.
Yeah, crap on the street, and you're blind and you might step in it. I'm trying to think of something else that even my kids, it'd be kind of cool. Like that one of the issues is I would like to have a dog for my kids, but the problem is like maintenance of a dog and then shedding hair and all that shit. Imagine I could have Spot take my kid to the park and then like monitor, and I can actually pull up my phone and I can take a look at what my kid's doing at the park through my Spot cam. Like, hey, Spot, go check on my son. Goes checks on my son. And then Emerson wants to play fetch at the park, or, wants to play tag. Spot can play those games.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Like an actual dog replacement.
Yeah. A dog replacement that I can like virtually access.
It does kind of defeat like a dog. It's just comforting. Those things are not comforting.
If my kid wants to cuddle, he can cuddle me. He doesn't need to be. You don't need a dog.
Yeah, but you don't have the same vibes as a dog.
I wouldn't. Really? Woof. Should I take my hair out?
No, you definitely don't give the same vibes as a dog.
I know. Yeah, I can't really replace a dog, but I'm just thinking this would be low maintenance and
It'd be good as like almost like a babysitter replacement.
yeah, monitoring the kids.
Yeah.
And then if somebody's like trying to pull some shady shit, Spot's like trained to like tackle and then like inject poisonous serum that will like tranquilize the guy.
Yeah. Could
Like,
you
just a
imagine
trank.
you have to refill that every single week because it just keeps getting used?
Don't know who. He's like, oh, you tranked another one, Spot? He's just, okay, let me refill the tranquilizer. The Ministry of Digital Transformation in Ukraine, which by the way, why does Canada not have a Ministry of Digital
Yeah, no
Transformation?
kidding.
Or do we? Maybe we do. I don't know.
Probably do.
I don't know. I've never heard of them. They seem to be making a lot of noise in Ukraine. Check this out. While Russia uses tanks to destroy Ukraine, we rely on revolutionary blockchain tech, says Federoy. The NFT museum is in place to keep the memory of war and a place to celebrate the Ukrainian identity and freedom. Basically, right now, Ukraine is selling a collection of NFTs that are basically associated with specific moments in the war so far. This is I thought this was a joke I thought this was an April Fool's Day prank. Listen to this quote. We will never let a single day of this period disappear from the ledger of world history.
Wow.
While
Actually, that actually is tripping me out right now.
the ledger of history.
Well, I was just, because obviously blockchain with all of its issues, think about how think about how much unwritten history there is.
Yeah, it's not on the ledger. And also, if normally when a country like infiltrates another country and destroys them, their story, the country that was destroyed, is gone.
Yeah.
And the victor rewrites history. Ukraine's government has accepted crypto donations directly through their wallet address that was provided by this Ministry of Digital Transformation since February 26th. Apparently, like from a bunch of charities, relief organizations, and even governments, they've received roughly 108 million in crypto. And that's all going towards humanitarian causes and military aid. So I guess my question is, like, 5 years ago, I would have thought this was like unimaginable. Like countries using crypto to get relief, get money, and also crypto to fight misinformation with their, opposing invader. That like I wouldn't disappear from the ledger of world history. Like just the fact that blockchain has been embraced this way, NFTs have been embraced this way to do fundraising, to preserve history. I wasn't expecting it to come this quick. What does Ukraine adapting this technology in such a crazy situation say about the future of blockchain and Web3?
I think more will adopt it. I know Canada and the US has been pretty hesitant about it. Was it Brazil that adopted Bitcoin?
El Salvador.
El Salvador did.
El Salvador.
They made it their main currency, and they're buying tons of it. And I think there's more countries that are actually thinking about doing it as well.
Yeah.
But-
it also says something too, because the richest nations aren't adopting it right now, but the poor countries are, because they can ride off of its financial gains.
Also, the utility, right? Like Ukraine is using it 100% for utility right now. Canada doesn't need that utility, and they're just more worried about tax evasion and regulating the finance, because we have a bit of a finance monopoly here in Canada. Same in the States.
Like the global currency right now is the American dollar, the US dollar. So you can see like why they might not be as eager to switch off of that to a new global currency.
Because
right?
they are the reserve currency right now.
Yeah.
And it's a huge threat because cryptocurrency, and specifically Bitcoin, is a real threat, I think, to the US dollar.
I'm interested to see the utility aspect of it being used in more places, like rewriting history. Like that's incredible. The fact that you can't rewrite history. It's just an immutable state within the blockchain itself.
I think we can get to a point where the news that gets put on the blockchain has to be validated by like 10 sources. And that's when it like gets official news instead of having to look through fake news, right? You have like 10 credible sources or whatever. If they all validate the same story, it gets put into like the official history book on chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I think that will be like, that's my favorite aspect about the blockchain is the utility aspect that it provides. So yeah, if Ukraine's doing that, props to them.
Speaking of, the history books, Lewis, what do you got for this week's Rewind segment?
Ooh, time to rewind. So this week is actually a very iconic moment in history, especially our current history. So on April 4th, 1975, Microsoft is founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. They formed the company to develop BASIC for the MITS Altair 8800. So that's like a like bring the programming language of BASIC over to that computer machine.
Okay.
So on April 1st, 1976, are you looking at it or?
Yep.
Okay. So you know what happened then. Apple Computer Company is formed by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak in order to sell the Apple I computers.
Wait, Apple started on April 1st?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What do they do for April Fool's Day? That's also their anniversary. They must take it seriously.
They
over
started
there.
a revolution.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Have you seen the old Apple logo with the Isaac Newton?
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, funny enough, on April 2nd, 1980, Microsoft announced its first piece of hardware, which is called the Z80 soft card. This was a microprocessor you plugged into an Apple II computer that allowed you to run programs written for the CP/M operating system. So clearly at the time, Apple and this operating system were not compatible. So that's what Microsoft did. But isn't that interesting how within this week, some huge accomplishments has happened in this personal computing revolution. Apple and Microsoft both formed and Microsoft got into hardware. Now,
Interesting too, because Microsoft was the big boy at the time. And now Microsoft is not as valuable as Apple.
no,
Apple's
but let's not
$3 trillion.
underestimate that because Apple now has almost a $3 trillion market cap. That's crazy. $3 trillion. I keep almost saying billion by accident, but trillion. And then Microsoft at 2.35 trillion. So both huge companies in this industry nowadays.
Yeah, and I feel like that they go up and down a lot. Microsoft was, I think, higher at once upon a time. And I think they've been kind of last couple of months have been rough for them, but I don't see Microsoft catching Apple right now. I think Apple's got a bunch of big opportunities in front of them with AR and VR, as far as like making that a personal, like personal device that people can have, and then also potentially with Apple Car and their continued success with the laptops and the tablets and the phones. I could see Apple continuing to surpass Microsoft in the future.
Yeah, it is tough. It seems like Microsoft is kind of more like of a safe option. They'll continue to go up, no problem. Apple is more the higher risk,
For
higher
sure.
reward. I mean, risk is it's not really a good term to say this. I mean,
They're
Apple's-
pretty solid.
yeah. So
But Microsoft is more diversified, right? I think that's what you mean by like they have like a lot of different ground. So is one big casualty wouldn't destroy the business. Where Apple, I don't know the numbers exactly, but 50-something% of their revenue last year came from iPhone sales. So like just imagine like the iPhone somehow like became
crap.
yeah, like that would have a huge impact. Then also the Apple Car and the AR VR, you know, those segments I talked about, those are really high risk and new frontiers, which could totally flop. Do I think they will? I don't think so. I think they'll probably find ways to be. I mean, Apple doesn't do something if it's going to flop. You know? Their execution's really good. What an interesting week. You know, April. I didn't realize Apple was founded on the 1st. What do we got this week for Snips, guys?
So Will Smith and bad Oscars numbers and a $140K gift bag. So Lee, you obviously saw the Oscars drama.
Oh yeah, you messaged me right away. You said, "Hey yo," you said, "Yo." ... Will Smith just smacked the shit out of Chris Rock.
I thought it was obvious. I thought it was fake because I never was even watching the Oscars. Twitter just blew up. But anyway, an iconic moment. However, they kind of needed that drama a little bit.
It kind of worked out. I think that's why everyone was like getting conspiracy theory because you know, apparently the Oscars were at an all-time low, and then of course like this big drama.
When was the last time you saw the Oscars?
I've never in my life.
Oh, you've never once in your life?
Never once in my life watched the Oscars.
I used to watch the Oscars with my family, but over the last 5, 6, 7 years, not even once because it's just boring. They're really boring. There's not as many performances, and it's just.
I can read the awards like the next day, and if there was a spectacular performance, I can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, you can even tell that the Oscars are trying hard because they're inviting influencers now. Like I saw a lot of influencers who went to the Oscars as well. But yeah, it's beyond that.
You didn't get an invite?
I didn't get the invite.
Yeah.
I wish I did get the invite. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they give out gift bags that are filled with $137K worth of stuff.
So they're trying to make it. You know, a bunch of influencers there to get content and try to hype it up again. But the gift bags have $140,000 worth of stuff in them.
For the nominees.
Oh, for the nominees.
Yeah, sorry, for the nominee gift bags. Yeah.
Which includes designer popcorn. It also includes a 12 grand voucher for worth of liposuction.
No, it doesn't. Really?
And Scottish land, apparently.
Yeah.
Wait. The gift bag included land in Scotland?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Or,
Is it-
redeemable vouchers for things like liposuction and Scottish land.
What?
So
Is there a formal list of all the stuff that was in the gift bag here? So 28 people will receive, they call it the Everybody Wins bag. 5 nominees for each of the Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Director. So it's actually not even for all the nominees. It's
Wait.
just for like the top tier upper echelon awards.
Okay.
So if you got like best,
Like
animated
actor.
documentary short film,
Yeah.
you're not going to get the,
I got some items if you guys want to react.
oh yeah.
So the title of Lord or Lady of Glencoe, along with a small plot of land in Scotland.
So awesome.
Wait, it came with it to be the title? So
Yeah.
now you can say that you are the Lord of Glencoe?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Unreal. Can't put a price on that.
Up to $10,000 worth of treatments and rejuvenation procedures from
Dr. Konstantin
Uh,
Vazukovic. So that's a pretty smart move on his part. He's giving you $10,000. He's probably a celebrity procedures, celebrity cosmetic medicine guy. And he's probably doing this for like lead acquisition, just to get celebrities in the door to take Instagram pictures. That was a smart move.
Do you know what would be an even smarter move?
What?
If he did a video with Chris Rock fixing his face.
That would be a great move.
I'd be like, I'm the celebrity fixer upper.
Actually, you know what? The derm guy on TikTok, he's like the big dermatologist guy. He did a video right away reacting, saying, like basically just saying like giving you advice on like what to do, like put ice on it, and everyone found their way to like try to to ride the wave of all the attention it was getting.
I like the derm doc.
Yeah, he's big. What else did they get? They got a $1,200 life coaching session with wellness expert K.O. Joseph. So it's kind of honestly, if I actually look at this, liposuction, a small piece of land in Scotland, home renovations, assortment of flavor wrapped popcorn.
It all makes sense for a celebrity.
But it's kind of all stupid.
Oh.
I would never want any of this stuff.
No.
Even as a celebrity, like a 4-night stay at, actually that's pretty cool, a luxury resort, $15,000. So at the same time though, like that's some shit. You know how like I get a gift card to like Kohl's? I don't read books, so I just like put it in my girlfriend's wallet and just like, oh, maybe I'll one day use it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how Will Smith took his $15,000 4-night stay for 2 at the Golden Door Luxury Resort. He probably was just like, oh shit, like let's like threw it in the filing cabinet and probably will forget about it.
Yeah.
That's how insignificant that is to him.
Yeah.
I feel like they could take these prizes and maybe do an auction for charity or something like that with some of the prizes from it.
Yeah.
Because they are taxed on it if they claim all these prizes by the IRS.
Oh my god! So this is actually an inconvenience. Like who wants to be taxed for their fucking $20,000
popcorn?
Yeah, like this is, I don't want that shit, man.
Yeah.
So you know what? Storm is a great idea. I'm surprised like the woke Oscars didn't like do that already.
Yeah.
Would just seem like and also that probably the I mean, you know what it probably is about? It's probably about trying to attract them there in the first place.
Yeah.
Like give them a gift basket so they're happy they showed up.
Absolutely. Because even the Grammys too are starting to become like, no one's starting to care about that.
See, with the
anymore
Grammys
either.
though, at least you have musicians performing.
Yeah, but there's also like that. But there's like huge politics going on over there too, because a lot of like artists are just refusing to go straight up.
Did you know the Goldman Sachs CEO is a DJ?
Really?
Yeah, apparently he's going to be doing a big show. Let me pull it up here for you. Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon to be performing at Lollapalooza. How does the board of directors approve this shit?
Yeah.
He must be a really like eccentric dude. You wouldn't think that for like a finance company, but he's on the set list.
Every CEO needs something, I feel. They always need something to stand out.
Yeah, they need to do something kind of zany.
Go to space.
Yeah, something cool. So what's his DJ name? He's been a DJ since 2015 and has even founded his own record label.
DJ D-Soul.
Payback Records. Is that what it is? That's what it is? D-Soul?
Yeah.
So he's like, I wonder if he's good. Like, has he got original music then?
I don't don't know.
Oh yeah, there it is. He's got 13.6 million streams on his like Wrapped, and he's got 3.8 million listeners in 175 countries.
That's pretty good. Good for him.
What a guy to just be pulling those both at the same time.
What CEO would you guys go see perform live a DJ set?
I mean, I know Elon Musk. That's an easy answer. He does make music.
Yeah.
This is kind of a theme. If I wanted to see, that's a good question.
Zuck, would you see Zuck?
Yeah. You know what? Remember we were talking about that a couple episodes ago, Drunk Zuck?
I feel like, yeah, if like he had a little bit too much to drink, he would do it. What kind of music would he make? I would say like probably, you know what Ross Geller from Friends used to do?
Yeah.
I think that's what he would do.
I would prefer if it was like emo rap.
Like
you
Machine
imagine?
Gun Kelly.
Something like that. Like Zuckerberg just going crazy.
And it's kind of like that Pixar movie where it's like, I can finally dress the way I want. I don't have to wear these blue jeans, this blue shirt. And he like takes it all off, comes out. He has like his eye makeup on,
piercings, tattoos,
skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Little like shaggy hair.
I could see it.
Yeah.
If not Zuck,
Elon Musk probably like the real number one because there's some music there, but I also feel like you'll kind of find a way to make it entertaining, like maybe a flying Tesla at the same time.
who's the Alibaba? Jack Ma. I would go see Jack Ma. He was the old CEO of Alibaba Group. I think he's just like the board chair now, but he seems like he'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Jack Ma?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just kind of really nerdy. His face is just like, I don't know. There's something about it that makes me smile.
Yeah. He looks like Krang a little bit.
Krang?
You know, Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Or is that what it is?
Hold on.
Search up Krang.
He does not look like Krang.
Craig T. Nelson.
He does not look like them. Jack Ma. No, Jack Ma looks like he just has a really big head. He's a genius, right? But like, look at this picture of Jack Ma.
You're telling me that this does not look like Krang?
I don't
A
know.
little bit.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of insulting, dude.
Just big brain energy.
Yeah, he's got big brain. He's a smart guy, man. Very, very smart guy. Very successful too.
Yeah. Good for him.
The real question is, when are you two going to help Tomorrow get to the next level by picking up the turntables and performing?
One of us has to do a show.
Some of us are already there.
Doing shows?
Well, like our musicians.
Yeah, we have a lot of musical people at Tomorrow Inc.
I'm not one of them, sadly.
No, but we've got a couple DJs, a couple producers, hobbyists that are on our company staff.
I'm a producer.
You know what you do produce pretty good at? You are a producer. You produce pretty good memes, Storm.
Yeah, let's hop on over there
Hop on over to the meme.
and we'll read what the people listening can't see. So it's a classic meme. It's that kid in the striped, what do you call that, flannel?
Like a flannel.
Yeah, it's a button up.
And he's doing kind of a geeky celebration. It's been used lots. You'll recognize it when you check out our Instagram page, but it says at the top, April Fool's Day is over. Everything on the internet is true again.
Oh, that's good.
That's really funny. It's like, you know what? It's so thought provoking. It's like a very like philosophical piece. Storm always coming in with the funny, but also like deep meaning
Yeah.
memes. We talked about this earlier about, social media and,
It means a lot because, think about how gullible we are, truly.
all the time.
We're about to test it with our fake stories that we're going to record after this
Oh,
Yeah.
podcast.
We're going to be doing 4 fake stories and we're going to see if any of them can go viral. And the thing is, too, it's not even just April Fool's Day. Like, do you remember when that one random guy on YouTube did like a fake Justin Bieber burrito eating thing?
Yeah. Or the fake Ed Sheeran at the KSI Logan Paul fight.
Yeah, like all these were just, the internet just playing tricks on us. So yeah, you can't trust anything you read on the internet. Gotta be careful.
That thing was crazy with Justin Bieber and the sideways, but what a genius.
A sideways burrito. Why did it get so big?
Because
It's
like that
Bieber.
is just like,
It's
whoever
so
does
wrong.
that would just be such, like, I would not respect someone for doing that.
No one's ever eaten a burrito that way, and he had Justin Bieber doing it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Honestly, props to him.
Yeah, very, very good job. Good way to get famous. Hopefully one of our videos today that we
Gets to
work
the same
on.
level.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. We got some really funny stories, and that's why you guys should definitely go check us out on social media. That's YouTube, Fast Forward Clips, Instagram, Fast Forward Pod. and then also on TikTok as well. If you listened all the way here, thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to the podcast. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Bye, guys.